Follow your passion, they say. Just do what you enjoy doing. If you enjoy your work, you will never really work a day in your life. That's what they're saying. But depending on what you want from life, this might be terrible advice. When there is this discussion, should I follow my passion? There's always this hidden part. Passion instead of what? There seems to be some kind of a trade-off, right? Should I follow passion or should I follow money? Should I follow passion or should I follow lifestyle? Should I follow passion or should I follow security? Should I follow passion or should I follow status? And so the fact that this question exists in the first place means that not everything is equal here, right? There is some kind of trade-off to be made. And so the market doesn't care about your passions, right? The market cares about what problems you solve for others. How can you help others? How can you provide value to others? Ideally, what you enjoy will also be asked by the market. Ideally, what you have a passion for is not that common of a thing. If your passion is into something where everybody else has a passion in, then it's just a commodity. Then everybody can do what you can do. Really, the trick is to find a rather nerdy passion, to find a passion that most people don't have, and then get compensated for that passion. And so fundamentally, there's a competition problem here, right? The more popular a passion is, right? If it's music, or if it's soccer, or if it's acting, millions of people have that kind of passion. And so in order to make a living from that, in order to solve other people's problems with that better, you have to be much better than the vast majority of people. The odds are then against us, right? Becoming a successful actor is much, much harder than becoming, say, a successful IT developer, because few people have interest in computers. A lot of people have interest, say, in playing soccer. The more popular a passion is, the harder it is to monetize. And the more deep potentially the passion needs to be, or the more work needs to go towards that passion in order to make this a career. And so what's the hidden secret here? What's the hidden advantage? It's to have unusual interests. It's to lead your curiosity in a way where most people stop exploring. It's to find something that most people aren't interested in, that has the potential to still help others, that has the potential to still solve a problem for someone. In other words, strange tastes can be very powerful. If you enjoy something in your university, if you enjoy something in your class, and that's something that most people do not enjoy, you're the only one that enjoys very difficult math problems, most people don't, that's potentially a very valuable thing. Less people following a certain thing means potentially more leverage in the marketplace if you were to help other people with your skills to solve various problems. And so there's a trap here, right? If you don't need a lot of money, then you might just say, I'm following my passion. If you want a lot of money, you might be optimizing for income. But the problem is, if you optimize for income, you're very likely going to be surrounded by other people that also optimize for income. So the mindset in the end compounds. And in the end, many people that go that route, they are not becoming passionate about that thing. They just do the thing for the outcome. And that can be long-term very draining, right? If you just go into M&A investment banking because you want the money and not because you're so interested in how companies merge and how the sales is done, etc. When you actually do not like what you're doing every day, then in the end, wealth might not actually come because there is a lot of competition in that space as well. You might enter because you think there is a lot of money, but if everybody gets in there, there is a supply problem of people just like you. And so this is true for the macro, as in what career do we choose, but it's also true for the micro, right? For the tactical decisions. When I make videos here on this YouTube channel, I could just publish videos on altcoins, right? Altcoins is actually what grows this channel. Most people search for their favorite altcoin. They want to find information about the altcoin. And so this is how this channel grew. This is how the channel got new subscribers. New people discovered this channel. If I make videos like this, mindset and strategy videos, those are not very search friendly. Those simply get moved to the people that are already subscribed. So this is for all the people that have been following for a while. New people do not enter this channel through videos like this. There's very few new subscribers, but there are a lot of views by the existing community. And so I personally enjoy making videos like this much more than making a random altcoin video that I have to bash again, right? Most altcoins tend to underperform Bitcoin most of the time. I make a video and I say you should rather sell that thing because token inflation is going up, etc. maybe it makes sense to short that thing. I tend to be bearish on most altcoins most of the time. And of course, I don't like that fundamentally, right? I don't like to always talk about a thing that I don't want to invest in. I want to talk about the productive things as well. And so, of course, making those kind of videos is more fun. But there is a trade-off to be made, right? There is a trade-off between what is my passion, what is my interest, versus what brings the income. And probably in the end, we need a mix of both. And so there is this trade-off between passion on the one side and all of those other good things on the other side, right? Money, status, security, etc. And so really, the reason why the decision is so hard is not necessarily because it's so perfectly balanced. It's because we don't have enough information, right? How much money do we actually leave on the table by following our passion? How much security do we leave on the table? How unstable, how risky, how much headache will follow our passion actually entail? The hard thing is not making the decision necessarily, it's to gather more information. And so how I personally do this is I just dabble into different things. I try different things that I'm passionate about. I try to follow interests, especially very quirky interests that most people don't have, and just dive deeper into that. Will I still feel passionate about this over the long term? And is there potentially a way to monetize this? I did not quit my corporate job before I had good income through YouTube and through crypto trading. Once I had the information, how much I really enjoy making videos day in and day out. Once I had the information, how much money this could generate. And once it was all safe, then it was much easier to follow the passion. So we don't have to go all in without any information. We can just try different things. And we explore further and further, and we try to fill that information gap. That's really where the problem is coming from. And so the clarity doesn't come from thinking about the problem more, right? Should I now quit my job in order to do that passion project? The clarity really comes from action. Action leads to information, and more information leads to then a wiser decision, whether or not we should do the thing for money or we should do the thing that we enjoy doing. You don't need permission to explore, right? Officially, right? My corporate job said I was not allowed to do anything on the side. But unofficially, right, in the end, everybody does something. And the question is always, is this still classified as a hobby or is this classified as something major? And when you're just starting out, it will always be some kind of hobby, even if you get some money for this. Only as you get deeper and deeper into a certain project, into a certain interest, can it then potentially replace the job. And when you're already at that point, then you might as well quit the job that you're just doing for money. And so what this means is that the decisions that we make should try to lock us in as little as possible. So we don't necessarily want to take a job that fills 80, 90 or 100 hours of our week, right? Then we don't have any more time to really explore our interests. We don't necessarily want to take out a big loan, a big investment, invest in our own dental clinic. If we don't really know if we enjoy doing dental work over the next 20, 30 years. We want to make the low commitment moves first. We want to get employed for a few hours or for a short duration, try the thing, and if you enjoy it, then go deeper. Otherwise, just continue exploring, right? It's always this explore versus exploit problem. If we don't really have something that we can exploit a lot, and that's true for many things, right? That's even true for, say, choosing a restaurant, right? Should we go to a new restaurant or should we go to the restaurant that we like? If we have explored many, many options, we might just do a lot of exploitation, right? Go to the same restaurant. If we have tried a lot of ways to make money and we found that one thing that we kind of enjoy and still brings us a lot of money, we just continue exploiting that opportunity. If we haven't found that yet, we just need to continue exploring. We need to have more information. And as the situation changes, right, we maybe enjoy our job less, or maybe our job doesn't pay us as much as we want, we can always again explore more, right? We always want to have some capacity in the day that we can use for something new. And the new experiments is then what the future is built on. And so here's the straightforward answer. Should we follow our passion or should we follow money, status, security, etc.? Really, we should follow our passion at a reasonable rate, with a reasonable time in our day. And we should especially focus on passions that are very unconventional, that might, down the road, potentially help solve other people's problems. Because those kind of unconventional passions, they tend to also then have the best way, the highest likelihood of getting properly monetized long term. That's then how we can nicely combine passion, and income generation. If you got some value out of this video, feel free to give this a like. Feel free to also check out the other mindset and strategy videos. They are directly at the channel here. Just click on the channel link, go to content, go to playlists. There's a playlist for mindset and strategy. Feel free to binge watch all of those videos. Thanks again for watching here and see you next time. Cheers.